Traveling across America in an RV is one of the funnest ways we know of to enjoy America. We realized our dream to travel when we bought our first RV years ago, and then upgraded to the one we have now. With an RV, we have traveled from the white sandy beaches in Florida in the winter and the Colorado Rockies during the summer. We even customized our current RV with solar panels and 360 degrees cameras, water filtration system, and upgraded the inside to our liking. As we were enjoying warm weather wintering in Florida, a terrible thing happened to our home back in the Rocky Mountains. Somebody had thrown a toy ball on the roof, and it landed in the gutter, blocking it. Then we got one of the worst rainstorms in Colorado in July, while we were down in Florida. The blocked gutter caused all that rain to pour directly into our basement through a window well. I guess you could call it the perfect storm. With no one checking the basement, the entire basement got covered with mold up to 2 feet from the floor before the property manager found out about it. We got the news 1,000 miles away from home. We had to pay through the nose to have the basement gutted out by a mitigation company, and then decided to head back in a hurry to assess what could or should be done next. We had to get back in a hurry to rescue our home. But as we were traveling back on our 1,000-mile journey, both the wife and I got infected with a COVID virus somewhere along the way. After an infection, it takes a day or two to know you have COVID. We were traveling back when we began to feel really queasy. By the time we arrived to park the RV, we both felt like the sky was falling down, but wrote it off as the stress of the home flooding and the non-stop 1,000-mile journey. So we parked the RV and left with everything scattered inside, thinking we will get to it after resting up. By the time we got home and checked the basement out, we were both down for the count. Took the COVID test and realized if we had been delayed by only a couple of hours from parking our RV, we may not have been able to even park it and leave, but had to head to the hospital. Fortunately, the mitigation company had done a good job in ripping all the mold out, and we acted quickly to take the meds to prevent getting even worse. Relieved that we had been very fortunate to recover, and that the house was not demolished, we worked on rest and recovery and focusing on the house. Little did we know, the tail end of our troubles had only begun where we were not looking.
I know you, I be lurking round, you know who. No need for cards to invite me in. No telling you where I just been. My name is Mr. Rats. I know fun just where it's at. You be sleeping late at night. You be far away and I delight. I chew on food, I chew on wire. I need no rent, I need no hire. I carry with me all you need to get. COVID haunter that you can bet. I'll be too smart, I'll be too fast. I'll be too lurky, no fear, no cats. I laugh at your silly human face as I lurk undetected from place to place. I am not funny, I am not cool, but I do stealth with my sneaky tool. I come in and I go out. That's what I'm about. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you don't know me, but I know you. I be lurking around, you know who. No need for cards to invite me in. No telling you where I just been. My name is Mr. Rats. I know fun just where it's at. You be sleeping late at night. You be far away and I delight. I chew on food, I chew on wire. I need no rent, I need no hire. I carry with me all you need to get. COVID hunter that you can bet. I'll be too smart, I'll be too fast. I'll be too lurky, no fear, no cats. I laugh at your silly human face as I lurk undetected from place to place. I am not funny, I am not cool, but I do stealth with my sneaky tool. I come in and I go out. That's what I'm about.
But unknown to us, our RV was not safe. There was a huge horse stable next to the RV site. It was providing an unlimited supply of mice to our RV. When we opened the RV door, we found out that our entire beautiful RV has been infested with rodents. It was very disturbing. They were all over the place. I could see their droppings. And so that's when we decided we needed to declare war and win it, because we did not want these rodents to take over and destroy our RV. I was well aware of the results of using toxins to kill rodents, but we did not want to do anything to hurt other animals. Given the large number of rodents that were there, it was going to create a significant risk if they all died of toxins and were eaten by wildlife. The accidental poisoning of pets and wildlife is a major concern worldwide. The majority of the toxic anticoagulant in the rodenticides are persistent, accumulating in the animals and the food chain. The residues of rodenticides have been detected in foxes, weasels, owls, predatory birds, songbirds, as well as fish. They don't go away, they just slowly kill them. So I didn't want to even entertain using toxins, and we found a better way. We decided to go for something that was completely toxin-free. And I'm glad I had this opportunity to use it on eliminating the rodents in our RV as a test bed for using NoRats. I can then show everyone how effective it is and encourage everyone to not use toxic rodenticides. So to show efficacy, we have to keep the rodents after they consume the bait and demonstrate the little time it takes for them to fall asleep. I place bait in there and monitor activity on camera. This will then definitely demonstrate non-toxic baits work great or even better than the toxic kind. All these rodents are coming from these horse stables here. There's enough room here for, a constant supply of them. But we don't need to catch all of them, just a few to show how awesome non-toxic NoRats can be. Then, as soon as I verify the efficacy, it will be time for us to move our RV somewhere else. Obviously, we'll never win the fight with the ongoing supply of them from the stables. They will keep coming, and we can keep adding more baits until about 2, 3, 4,000 rodents are dead. That is not even necessary. We don't live here, so I'll just move the RV after the test. But for now, I'm going to show you what I've got so that you can also move away from toxic baits and switch to non-toxic if you have the same issue as I do here with these mice. In order to use NoRats, open the container. Choose an area where you see rodent activity that is also away from other rodents that you might want to prevent from eating it. You can take roughly half of the bait and then put it on the lid. Leave the other half in the box. Also add 3 tablespoons of water on top to prevent the rodents from scattering the bait. Check on a daily basis. You will see signs of rodent activity immediately if you have any mice. When you see some of the bait is gone, you can be sure it is getting rid of them. If you have many mice like I do in this RV, just open a new container and place it in the same place until all signs of rodent activity is gone. Our RV had been retrofitted when purchased new with exterior security cameras. These cameras were hooked up to a DVR with 8 channels. For monitoring rodent activity, all that needed to be done is to have monitoring cameras added to the DVR and then place them at the observation points to monitor rodent activity. The motion sensors would then start recording as mice became active around the bait stations. To set up the monitoring cameras, the first step is to unpack the analog cables and connect them to the BNC adapters. Then we connect the cable to the DVR and plug the cameras to the AC to DC power supply. On the other end, after the BNC connectors, the DVD connects to the dual-purpose TV and monitor with a DVI cable. Now we can review recorded rodent activity when we are back in the RV in a few days. We will see what the sneaky critters have been up to. If all goes well, we will see the mice come around and consume the bait. Given the large rodent population in the RV, the baseline test will provide initial insight into their activity in preparation for the final efficacy tests. Okay, let's see what we've got. Oh wow. Yeah, they've been busy. Yeah, they've been very busy here. There's more down here, but they haven't finished it off yet. And they've even moved the baiting station a little over. They are loving it. So what I'm going to do is add some more bait for the ones still coming in. Now what we need to do is keep some feeding to show. I would say 3 to 4 days, and this should be all gone. So I want to add more bait to all the bait stations and then come back and monitor again. There will be some live mice video clips, so if you are mice shy, then please beware. Let's look at the video clips to see its efficacy. And I'm hoping that after watching this, you'll be able to also purchase a sample for yourself at a deep discount that we provided online. And because you'll be able to be rest assured that your love of nature and traveling in your truck or RV, or even in your home, does not have to be hampered by knowing that you've used something toxic in order to kill those pesky rodents. And there has been zero rodent activity. I was hoping all had not been already eliminated. I may have waited too long. We had something in the neighborhood of 60, 70 rodents here. Now they seem to be all dead. They haven't come around. And that means that NoRats completely eliminated 60 to 70 mice. We verified that they get dispatched with a little over a day. That's the good news. The bad news is I don't have any more footage to show you. I'm going to be patient and wait for a little bit longer. Any visiting rodents, and we'll be able to show the rodent activity for a second time. To help entice them to go into the live cage, I'm going to put a little bit of bait right at the entry here. Kind of nudge it open so that they can see it and then take interest and go in and take the bait. We need a couple of good samples over a period of several days. I personally know it works, but I haven't actually had camera footage. Now I'm hoping that by the camera footage, I'll be able to show this to everyone. Because after all, can you imagine if this was your RV? You walked in and you saw what you saw and you didn't want to use poison. What could be done? By the way, poison baits do not work as well anymore. I've tested poison long ago. Especially rats, they have built a resistance, are also smart enough to actually take a taste test and then not take the bait. But with this product, we have shown that within a day, all signs of rodents disappear as they cannot distinguish it from food because it is food. You can see it was already caught on the 13th. When did it get in? I don't see it on the 11th, little rodent approaching. This is on the 12th. Then starts poking around. And then it starts tasting the stuff I put at the post, and it goes in there. In about 1 day after placing the bait, you see no more activity. Let me go forward a little more. It takes about a day. As I recall, based on the timing, on the camera exactly when it died. There, it has no more activity. The science says that once the ingredients start to work in the stomach, they work within a few minutes, not days, unlike the poison that has to slowly debilitate the animal. It takes about 10 minutes, and then the rodent gets drowsy and falls asleep. Studies have shown that rodents carry the COVID virus. This according to at least one study done in New York during the COVID pandemic. It becomes airborne when mice urine dries and becomes airborne. There's really no if we are getting exposed to it since there are no signs. They also chew on wiring. They chew on furniture, chew through food grains, and then once they work their way into the places where we store food or food itself, is impossible to tell if we're going to be exposed consuming our food with the viruses that they carry. I believe rodents of all kinds should be bothered out in the country, but they really should not be allowed to stay and proliferate in human living spaces. I hope that as a result of all this testing, we can finally do away with poisoning wildlife, but also protect ourselves and loved ones. I mean, we know that rodents are even getting immune to the anticoagulants baits, and they're becoming leery, especially the bigger rodents, such as rats. They're wising up to what to eat and what not to eat. They sample, and a little bit, and stop eating when they get a little sick, even though they have been already harmed. Fortunately for NoRats, it's all food-based, no toxins. There's no way for them to distinguish between the food-based active ingredients, as well as the inert ingredients and what they normally consume. My experience, after many years of trial and error and coming up with a secret recipe, has shown clearly that they just don't know when to stop eating NoRats. They love it. I look forward to doing another test. Unfortunately, my beloved RV has become a lab. But it's a small price to pay. Because if we see that We can maybe double, triple the amazing efficacy compared to old baits, then it will be quite obvious to use it instead. Millions of households can be made more safe without risking the environment and wildlife. I want to give them an additional incentive to get in there. I know they like to have water, so I'm going to put another baiting station with some water in it, and that gets them interested in coming into the live cage where the bait is. So it's important to note rodent behavior is taking a taste test to see if it's safe. And now here we are on like the second day. They didn't really eat much. They're seeing was there an effect? If there isn't, then their caution will reduce. What happens in the case of toxins is that toxic rodenticides alert them that they got sick and they don't come back. They're sick. They might be in that mode for days. And it's a terrible way to go for any creature. But with this, they don't notice that there's anything that happened. They don't feel sick. And so they keep coming back. And they also communicate with their colony that all's well. So in a matter of a few more days, they're going to start actually actively feeding, and then we'll see the result. In a real-life situation, they would just eat their fill and die within a couple of days. Even though we cannot have them around and we have to get rid of the ones inside our home, we can do it in a safe manner now. Scientific data collected shows that they nibble test, they taste test, they go back, and if any one of them gets sick, the word's out they won't touch the rest. That is not the case with NoRats. We have done extensive testing to make sure what is the most attractive, down to the design of the baiting station to make sure that there's nothing that spooks them. Everything attracts them. Something to keep in mind when placing the baits is to place them where there is already signs of rodent activity. Same way they finish it all in a few days with the first batch I placed on the RV floor. I did that to confirm there was any activity. By the way, you don't need live cages for NoRats to work. We are using live cages to show how long it takes for NoRats to work after one consumes the bait. Let's zoom back to the first feeding. The clip shows that the lid dropped after the lever got tripped on June 5th, 29 minutes past midnight. 2 hours later, it continues to feed. Then on June 6th at around 2 o'clock, it is the last time an activity was noted showing the rodent expired. It was moving actively until the ingredients began to work. This is another observation point showing NoRats really gets rid of the critter. In my experience, it takes anywhere from 1 day and a half for the rodents to pass. Looking forward to any questions on this video if you have any. If you have these critters milling about in your RV or your home, it's good to know on actual camera footage how well it works in eliminating rodents. Wildlife including foxes, cougars, owls, birds of prey, pets, cats, dogs can even eat the dead rodent and not be hurt by the non-toxic NoRats. Always remember to dispose of the dead rodent properly. When rodents get sleepy, they tend to go to their den to go to sleep. They're not going to be hanging out in the open. Check with your State Department of Health on their recommendations on how to dispose of the remains. In conclusion, we have demonstrated that non-toxic NoRats works very well in eliminating rodents. We have also shown that it is a humane way of eliminating rodents living around humans. We have shown that once a rodent takes NoRats, rodent elimination only takes 1 to 2 days. NoRats is sold by Johnster Incorporated, the company I founded. Check our website listed below. We commonly offer discounts over the already low prices.
Yeah. Yo, yeah. You don't know me, but I know you. I be lurking round, you know who. No need for cards to invite me in. No telling you where I just been. My name is Mr. Rats. I know fun just where it's at. You be sleeping late at night. You be far away and I delight. I chew on food, I chew on wire. I need no rent, I need no hire. I carry with me all you need to get. COVID haunter that you can bet. I'll be too smart, I'll be too fast. I'll be too lurky, no fear, no cats. I laugh at your silly human face as I lurk undetected from place to place. I am not funny, I am not cool, but I do stealth with my sneaky tool. I come in and I go out. That's what I'm about. Yeah.